Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to get started in just a moment. My name is Brian. Thank you for joining me, and we should be live on StreamYard, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. So I really appreciate you joining me. We'll get started in just a moment answering your questions about exactly what is mental fitness and how can it help you as a business owner, as a family member, as a solopreneur, get unstuck, get to peak performance, and lower stress. And you can go to positiveintelligence.com, click on the Saboteur tab, take your free Saboteur assessment. You get the results, I do not. And you can schedule an appointment with me. You see across the screen, email me at info, I-N-F-O, at drbrianspeaks.com, info at drbrianspeaks.com. And we will absolutely, positively schedule a call and go over what your results mean and how or if mental fitness coaching can help you. So we'll start in 1 more minute or 30 more seconds. Really appreciate you coming in. I see we're getting some questions live already. So let's get started. So welcome. You are looking live at Dr. Brian. I'm here in my hometown, 29 Palms, California. And wherever you're joining me in the United States or around the world, I appreciate it. Again, if you're watching the recording, you can go to positiveintelligence.com, click on the Saboteur tab, take the quiz, you get the results, then email me at info at drbrianspeaks.com. Info at drbrianspeaks.com. We'll schedule a call and we'll go over what the saboteurs mean. So while we're talking about that, what are saboteurs? Saboteurs are those voices in your head that sabotage your progress. We all have them, and they have character names. So we have the judge that kind of oversees and overrides everything. The judge is the one that says, why are you on a webinar on Sunday? Why are you listening to this? You don't need any new information. Your saboteurs do not want you to change. So there are the saboteurs that are the controller, the stickler, the hypervigilant, the pleaser, the victim. We'll go through all those. Now, how do you control those saboteurs, and exactly what is mental fitness? So mental fitness is your capacity to respond to life's challenges with a positive rather than negative mindset. Your capacity to respond to life's challenges with a positive rather than negative mindset. When you approach the world with a positive mindset, what happens? You can get to be your best consistently, the best version of you, peak performance, peace of mind and wellness, and healthy or healthier relationships. So this comes from Shirzad Chamine at Stanford University. And this is, frankly, the next evolution in personal development. So what happens, as many of you may know, every 15 years or so, there's new developments in how we can motivate, how we can shift behaviors, how we can change habits. And so what Shirzad has done with positive intelligence, and this has absolutely been proven through research. So hundreds of CEOs and executive teams, Stanford students, of course, world-class athletes, and most importantly, 500,000 participants from 50 countries have gone through this program and experienced changing their outlook, attitude, and behavior, resulting in absolutely optimized performance. So here's really what happens. All of us have these saboteurs, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. Stuff happens, we get knocked off balance. So the question is, where do we get stuck? So my high scores: controller, stickler, pleaser. I love helping others. In my business and family life, I was always, at least in my mind, helping others, doing more, trying to contribute as much as I could. So what happens in that pleaser saboteur? We don't communicate our own needs. So over time, we feel frustrated and angry that people don't come to us automatically and ask if we want help. Now, it is as simple as stating your needs in a positive way, but we tend not to do that if we have a high score of pleaser with our saboteurs. Additionally, if you have a high score of controller and hypervigilance, you micromanage. You want it your way. You want things done in a specific manner. And at work, if you have Gen Z and or Gen Y and Gen X at the office, actually, I don't think any generation appreciates micromanagement. And that's what the hypervigilant and controller saboteurs help us do. We micromanage, we hover, and we don't trust. And so in our communication patterns, that comes through. Our own frustration when we feel like people are not meeting our expectations comes through. And we are literally ruining performance, motivation, morale, and driving people away from us. So that also contributes to workplace turnover, which is highly costly. So what mental fitness training does, over 6 weeks, 4 times a day for 2 minutes, you're going to do specific exercises. Now, the difference maker with mental fitness and positive intelligence is this literally rewires your brain. This is a combination of neuroscience, cognitive behavioral therapy and psychology, positive psychology, all rolled into one program. That's why I say it's the next evolution in personal development. And so what you can experience is simply a shift in how you think, a change in your attitude, a shifting of your behavior. Your emotions catch up quickly, and you literally become a better version of yourself. You lower the negative impact of those saboteurs. So let's talk briefly about those saboteurs. So the judge, harshly critical, constantly evaluating and condemning, looking for perfection. The judge oversees almost all the saboteurs. And this is the one that can really negatively impact relationships and communication. Because when the judge is harshly critical of us, ourselves, how's our communication? When we're being put down on our own, we judge ourselves, our communication tends to lean towards much more critical comments and reactions. The victim, self-pity, powerlessness, woe is me. If you want a perfect example of the victim role, go to YouTube, look at the scene for Moonstruck, the bakery scene with Nicolas Cage, where he explains how he lost his hand in the bakery slicer and blames his brother for that, and literally says, do you expect me to put my heartache away and move on? Well, we expect you to deal with your heartache and then move on. And that's how mental fitness coaching can help you. You're going to lower the negative impact of these saboteurs. The avoider, do we avoid taxes? Do we avoid putting projects off? Do we avoid having the tough discussion with our spouse about something that's bothering us? So the controller, again, my highest score, we want to get things done our way. The controller motto is my way or my way. And I can tell you with the people I've coached and the group I was in when I got certified with positive intelligence, wow, the controller saboteur was lessened, and my family and my work colleagues noticed an immediate difference in how he was communicating and solving issues at home and at work. So, what does mental fitness do? In addition to lowering the impact of the saboteurs, we tap into the other side of your brain, the one that has all the creativity and help. And you'll use 5 ways to communicate, solve problems, deal with life's curveballs. You will explore situations with an open mind. You'll empathize with yourself and others using compassion and understanding to solve issues. Innovate, creative outside the box thinking to have a new approach. Navigate, to surf the waves or skateboard along so you don't keep crashing and coming up with the same wall that you hit and stop your progress. And then activate to move towards decisive action. You'll take control about how to move forward. So again, over 6 weeks, 4 times a day, 2 minutes a day, you will experience almost an immediate impact. The people I've coached, and you can look on my LinkedIn profile testimonials, have said in the middle of the first week, they felt a difference in how they were coping, communicating, functioning. So here's the deal. Life doesn't change much. Hopefully you don't have a lot of workplace turnover. Hopefully you don't have a lot of family changes over time. So we keep running into the same obstacles. If you're going to work with dread of facing a certain coworker or boss, or you're the CEO and you're frustrated with people are not implementing your initiatives, and you keep going over and over and over, and you don't want to have high workplace turnover or keep firing people, that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what does mental fitness do? It literally will help you with a new approach. We have seen on MRIs how your brain is rewired as you go through these exercises, and you will shift your attitude, your behaviors, your thinking, your emotions in dealing with almost anybody, and use 5 novel solutions to handle issues. If things are going well for you already, you can go from better to best. So this program really helps with optimizing communication with your family and friends, coworkers, bosses. This is a process where you literally will, and I'm going to go back to it again, handle life's curveballs with a positive outlook. So this program is designed to help you from wherever you're functioning to take a step up, to solve issues and problems. And if you ask yourself, it's already the middle of the year, have I taken a step up with my personal goals? Have I optimized my eating habits or my weight? Am I still under high stress with my family members? Is work wearing me out? This is the key concept. Please memorize this. When you change and you make a shift in your thinking, in your attitude, and your communication, the people around you change. You become the change. You become the driving force in the change process. When you make a shift, everybody else around you will make the shift with you. And so what happens clearly is we stop the cycle of gaining insight into something. Oh, I'm aware of that. I make a short-term burst of change and then revert back to my old habits. So if you've gone to multiple seminars, if you've gone to a 4-day retreat and you make a burst of change and fall back into old habits, mental fitness is the secret sauce to help you make progress on whatever else you've integrated and learned, and help you make the shift to consistently be the best version of yourself. Now, should you agree to go through this program with me, you get access to the Positive Intelligence app for a whole year. So it doesn't end after 6 weeks. In the 6-week program, you meet with a small group, 3 to 4 people, with Dr. Brian personally once a week, and we go over the week's exercises and any challenges you may have. And we do that for 6 weeks. Thereafter, we meet once a month. And then, of course, if you need more help, we can find a way to make that happen. So the program lasts a year. You get individualized coaching with me in a small group for 6 weeks. Next, very important that I want to make sure you're all clear on. Lots of different programs out there. Why should you work with me and mental fitness coaching? So I'm a PhD in clinical psychology. I've done training and coaching over the past 25 years. I've worked with adolescents, young kids, substance abusers, CEOs, and business owners. My passion, my driving force is to help people take a step up. I was fortunate or unfortunate. I had a neuromuscular disorder growing up, and I couldn't play sports with other kids like other kids could. It's called myasthenia gravis. And fortunately, that sort of left my body when I was 18. Neurologists are pretty sure I was misdiagnosed or I had something, but then it just shifted in my body. But that taught me, how do I communicate differently? How do I fit in? Where can I use my strengths? So because I couldn't play sports for normal amounts of time as a kid or play active team sports, I found other ways to contribute or fit in. Acting class, drama class, student government, being active, being very social really helped me out. So mental fitness is the next step up, where I've integrated a system where I get to pursue my best passion, which is helping others solve their problems to perform at their best. And so mental fitness makes it easy, makes it fun. You become aware of your saboteurs. And again, it's not just insight. Insight isn't enough. It's insight with a shift in changing how you approach specific people and personality styles, how you deal with the ongoing conflicts we all have within our families. There's no way not to have conflicts that pop up. That's a normal part of relationships. It's making the commitment to resolve those issues. And so this process can really help. So I've babbled on and on and on. Let's get to questions that are pouring in. Steve from Dallas, Texas. Thanks for joining me, Steve, live. I really appreciate it. Steve's question is, what's the key difference between mental fitness and any other coaching program that I might sign up for? That is a great question, Steve. The best way I can answer that is if you understand where's positive intelligence coming from. It is the next evolution in personal development. So it's a combination of cognitive behavioral techniques. Cognitive is thinking. Behavior, you understand behavior. Change your thinking, change your behavior, your emotions will catch up. Neuropsychology, how do we shift our brain, our attitude, our blood flow? Positive psychology, how do we have an outlook that is positive rather than when we're in our saboteur brain, which is survival. It's reacting under threat. It's reacting under stress. So what we want to do is approach problems with empathize, innovate, navigate, and activate. And of course, explore options. So I hope that answers your question. This is the next evolution. And let me, I didn't finish my point. With coaching with mental fitness with me, I guarantee the results. Now, what does that mean? If you go through the exercises, if you show up to each coaching session for 6 weeks and you do not get the results you signed up for, which we will agree ahead of time, I give you a full refund, no questions asked. All I require is you go through the app 4 times a day for 2 minutes and meet with me once a week for 6 weeks. If you do that, I will refund your money if you don't make the progress that you signed up for. Now, I will tell you, having coached over 100 people the last 6 months, no one has asked for their money back. So this is a powerful program. It generates results. You'll, I think, feel like most people, you'll feel a lightening of the stresses and strains you go through day to day and week to week within the first 5 days of the program. You'll stick with it for 6 weeks, and there is nothing better than lowering stress. So let's talk about stress for a minute. In fact, Sharon from Chicago, Illinois asked, what do you mean by stress? So stress, dreading going to work. Stress, over worrying about bringing up an issue with a spouse or family member or good friend. Stress impacts your sleep. Poor sleep over time shows up in poor communication, irritability, health issues, and possibly poor relationships at work or at home. You're constantly under that threat and that survival brain and grabbing on to whatever your strongest saboteurs are. So when we lower the impact of the saboteurs, lower that stress, we begin to tap into, what are you great at? What are you good at? How can you communicate at your best? How can you approach other people when you become the change? When you become the change, everyone around you will make a shift. That is a universal law of human behavior. So what's really great about the program is you're going to laugh a lot. You're going to laugh at your saboteurs. You're going to laugh at how you used to react to certain stressors. And so there's nothing better than laughing, having fun, integrating new information, pushing through and making breakthroughs. The most important part is you will go beyond insight and make a permanent shift and change. Next, looks like Angie from Seattle, Washington. Thanks for joining us, Angie. Angie's comments question is, do you have to be a leader to go through this, or can I just be a solopreneur or just somebody who wants to create change? Great question, Angie. Yes, I work with mostly business owners and CEOs. However, I have worked with mental fitness with weight loss. I'm associated with the Obesity Help Conference. I myself started using mental fitness techniques. I'm a one-time winner, one-time loser with weight loss. I had the lap band surgery, the easier procedure back in 2011, lost the weight, abandoned all the habits and behaviors I needed to, and gained the weight back plus more. And in 2017, had gastric sleeve surgery. I've lost 184 pounds and kept that off for June 17th of this year will be a 7-year anniversary. And so I've learned through my own work and my own discoveries, how do you make that permanent change? How do you make a shift to emotional mastery, not letting the emotions overwhelm you, but you being in control? Have the emotion happen, let it pass through you, choose a different behavior and response. you become in control. Remember, you are not your emotions. You are you. Your emotions are temporary. They will pass through you and you can overcome them. So through mental fitness coaching, you will be able to act differently. You will not be a ping pong ball and react. You're going to be able to take charge of different situations. Philip in St. Louis asks, can you clarify the guarantee one more time? Yes, I will clarify the guarantee. So you go through the exercises. I will give you a gentle nudge. Hey, Philip, looks like you didn't do today's 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock exercise for 2 minutes. Please do that. You'll meet with me in a small group, 3 or 4 people, once a week for 6 weeks. And at the end of 6 weeks, when you and I will have entered into a written agreement before you start, what do you want to have experienced and accomplished? If we don't reach those goals, I will refund your money. So it is as simple as that. And Sharon from Tacoma, Washington. Sharon wants to know, do you work with small groups? So if I have other friends in my side hustle, can we work together? Yes. So if you have a group of people, we can work out an arrangement, absolutely work together to accomplish the goals you want. So any specialized group, in fact, that is what gets me most excited, is working with a specialty group like that. My expertise has been working with business owners. I really specialize with junior executives, people who want to take a step up and get promoted, or people who are recently promoted to new levels of leadership. And I help you navigate those choppy waters because today in the busy work environment, you may get promoted and yet it's ill-defined how you're supposed to fit into that role. If you're a new leader, you may have experienced this already. All of a sudden, the people on the team you were on no longer socialize with you. You're not friends anymore because when you have input onto people's performance review, it's really hard to go out with them socially. So you're going to have to bridge that gap. You're going to have to confront behaviors, document, have tough conversations with people. And I love helping you get enjoyment out of the job, how to bring out the best in yourself so you can do the number one job in leadership, which is bring out the best in other people. So again, drop me an email, info@drbryanspeaks.com, info@drbryanspeaks.com. Take the free saboteur quiz at Positive Intelligence. And let's take the leap together. Let's do mental fitness so that you can lower the impact of your saboteurs, increase your personal performance and professional performance, have better relationships, less stress, and better health. I can't thank you enough for joining me on a Sunday. I really appreciate it. We'll be doing this weekly on Fridays starting in 2 weeks, and can't wait to meet and communicate with everybody who is online today. Thank you so much for your time. Have an excellent and exceptional rest of your day.